how's it going out there, everybody? So this is going to start part 2 of the muzzleloader build. Alright, so in part 2 what we're going to be doing is we're going to shape and finish the thimbles. We're going to install the barrel tenons and drill them into the stock and get the barrel seated. And finally, we're going to install the front thimble and get it set into its proper position. So the rear thimble, which is this piece, sits in here like this. I've really not been able to find any decent instructions on how to actually install this. The book that the school has given us, SDI, has no clear instructions on how exactly this is supposed to install either. They just say to drill a hole and then take off material so it clears the wood. That is not a decent description of how this installs. So what I am assuming is one of these screws are going to have a hole drilled in here. Then we're going to have to thread and tap this, the top of this, so it seats in that. Because you can't take a long screw and put it in front of that because the ramrod has to go in there.
Car ramrod, you get it?
Yeah, I got it. Rabbit.
Say car ramrod.
So this area has to remain unobstructed. We're going to end up fitting this piece to sit in here nice and tight. And then we will end up drilling this out and tapping this with a screw. I decided to make some modifications here. The first one is I'm going to go with 832, and I have a 832 torque screw because the directions aren't very clear, so I'm going to go about doing this my way instead of whatever the book's not telling me. So we're going to drill this and fit this into there to retain this rear thimble piece. Dang near close. There we are.
Roger, 23.
You didn't say it.
Oh, I forgot.
I wrote it on the paper.
Oh, yeah.
So the reason I'm test fitting the barrel first is because we're about to start doing the tenon installation. And I want to make sure the barrel fits before I go on to installing the tenons because we only got one shot to drill those. So that's why I'm testing the barrel for fitment prior to installing the tenons. So now we appear to have barrel fitment issues. So I'm trying to clean out some of this channel here to allow the barrel to fit properly. Now we're going to go on to the barrel tenon installation, and these are the parts that are going to hold the barrel into the stock to help keep the barrel seated and everything in place when firing. The one thing you do need to know with tenons is you have to fit them, and when you put them into the barrel right now is upside down. The muzzle of the gun is pointed this direction. They will install from right to left. And what can go a little quicker is doing it like this. So there you have it. Barrel tenons are in. Now we need to go ahead and mark them out to get them in the stock. All right, so these are our numbers for the front and the back. So what I did is I measured the distance right here. So we got to find the height of the center of the tenon where we're going to drill through it. So to show you what I mean, and probably an easier means of doing this is to just measure the tenon. So I got 0.210. So half of that will be, so that's 0.210 inches divided by 2 equals 0.105 inches. Then we will add 0.877789. So 0.982 will be from the top of this into the stock material. Let's double check our numbers. So there's 982. That puts us right in the center of that tenon. That's where we want to be, because we're going to have to run a dowel pin through that to hold it into the stock. So that's where we want to be at. Then we'll do the same thing over here. 0.205 inches. Half of that will be 0.1025. 25 and 25 is 50. Okay, so 1025 plus 874, which are going to be in the same damn neighborhood. 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 9, 6, 7, 5. So we're at 9.8 versus 9.7. That's pretty dang good. Now we'll go ahead and get this in the stock and get the stock marked out, and you'll really see it come to life then. So this piece of aluminum that I have on the flat part of the barrel, because I can't pull that measurement to here, so I'm looking at about 0.483 inches. And so when you add that up with the depth of the hole, or the location of the hole on this side for the rear tenon, we get 9765. So when you add those two together, what you're left with is 1.4605 inches. Now I'm going to go ahead and set that on here. This thing's very touchy. I need to tighten it up. 1.4605. So go ahead and make a mark right in the center. And we're looking at about 465. Be 2.3. So that's about right center. All right, perfect. So that's going to be our mark, which we can already see it. It's pretty much indented in there. I was able to scribe it with my calipers. Go ahead and take our auto punch. That's our first mark. We're going to do the same thing. So with our numbers, got 982 with 483. Just double check that again. .465. That's good. Our numbers are really close together. So we're going to go 1.4. 4.5, so 2.25. Pretty much dead on center. Perfect. Let's go ahead and auto punch that. So now we need to take and measure these real quick to get the approximate size of the drill bit we're going to need. It's going to be better to go under than over, because we will want somewhat of a tight fit. So I'm getting 114. Of course, they're probably metric. 120, 118. So I need to find a drill bit that is 118. But my measurement on this one is gonna be 108. So it's 1/100th of an inch under that pin, which is a little too much for a press fit. But let's see how this works out. Okay, we're gonna do the front. See, we got our tenon holes. Amazing. So for the final part, we need to install the front thimble. And you can pretty much put this wherever you want. There's no specific location. We just want to keep it somewhere in between the front tenon pin and the end of this. So whatever you think looks best in comparison with the rod. I mean, if you want to leave a little bit there, but honestly, I kind of just prefer that. I think I'll just keep the brass just all the way over. So I'm gonna make a mark where this hole is. Slide this up. I gotta put that somewhere in there. Find the low spot. Tap this puppy. Alright, I like that. See, this bit doesn't necessarily fit, so I know it's going to extend past the major diameter of the screw, which is good. That's what I want. Let's go ahead and get this thimble installed. So there, it is installed, functions flawlessly. How you doing? So as you can see, we have the barrel that is partially installed. I don't have the pins in yet, but we have the barrel in, we have the thimbles installed, and everything countersunk to where we get a nice good fit. All our holes line up. We are starting to quickly progress on this build, and it's really looking good. It's really coming out now that we got over the hump with the stock, but even with the stock repair, you can barely even see it. Once we start filing that stuff off, you won't even see there was even a crack there. So thanks for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. I've searched the internet. There is nowhere to find a video on installing this rear tenon. There's inletting a rear tenon, but nothing showing how to install them, how they go. There's nothing in the instructions that show how the rear tenons go. So I'm really excited. I hope this video helps out some people and that kind of clears it up. I know it's self-explanatory for probably guys like me that are experienced with firearms, but for the average Joe out there that's just getting a kit, this might be his first gun or might be one of many first guns, that might not be very clear. So I was actually glad I was able to cover that to show you kind of how to fit this in and get it attached in there. And of course, stay tuned because next week I'm going to be cutting another video, which I think we're probably going to be trimming down the stock or maybe doing some inletting down here, or who knows? That's a mystery. You'll know when you see it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe below. Please stay tuned for more.